Just as a little side note here, that if you do want to learn how to track everything in your website and push it through the right places, then you can find everything in my school community, which will be placed in the link down below. And this specifically is in the Marketing Funnel Playbook. In the first tier subscription, you have already 8 courses that I am sharing with you for a very low price, and you get extra chat support as well if you get stuck anywhere. So would be beautiful to see you there, but let's get moving with the rest of this lecture. Great. So we made it to actually getting to know the tracking systems, and the main ones are Google related. The first one being Google Tag Manager. As I mentioned, when you make a Google Tag Manager account, what happens is that you put one code in your website instead of multiple. And from in Google Tag Manager, we are going to manage the Meta Pixel ad, the TikTok Pixel, the Google Ads tag, and whatever else you have really. So just one code and then one platform to manage everything else. When you go to Google Tag Manager, the first thing it's going to ask you is to create an account. So for the sake of this exercise, or these following exercises, I have set up a personal portfolio just to show you a little bit how it works and how to move through the steps of installing Google Tag Manager as well as everything else. So I'm just going to call this my portfolio. And I'm in Spain. And then the website is Creative Juice Advertising. The reason why it's this is just because I was looking for a domain name that already had some potential, and this one has a lot of backlinks, which means that there's a lot of websites already linking to this domain. Even if it's old and they don't work anymore, they're still there, and I can take use of this if I want to make blogs. So I do have a course on how to launch your website with traffic, and yeah, that's the reason why this has a bit of a funny name. Now, the container name, I'm just going to put the website because that's the clearest for me. However, I can't put symbols, so I'm going to take those out, and then you click on web and you create. You have to agree with everything. However, I don't want it in Spanish, I want it in English, and then we continue. And then we have our tag manager already set up. Now, the following step is to install Google Tag Manager on your website. And there's 2 ways of doing this. You can search how to install Google Tag Manager on your website, or you can do it through the developer and literally copy all of this. Yeah, copy the instructions, copy the tag itself, copy the second instructions and this tag, and just send it to the developer. And he or she will make sure that it is in place so that you can start using it. That's obviously the easiest way if you don't want to learn how to work the back end of a website. However, as a marketing manager or somebody who actually runs everything within your own business, I really would recommend you to at least start learning a little bit of the basics of how to install these things, as it will just make your life a lot easier on the long term. So it says paste this code as high in the head of the page as possible. So I am just going to copy this, and then I am going to my next page, which is the back end of my website. And in WordPress specifically, because this is a WordPress site, there's a plugin called Code Snippets, and this plugin is the best plugin for you to use when it comes to Google Tag Manager or putting anything else in the header or the body of your website. So I'm going to go to header and footer here, and I'm going to paste the header part here, and then I have the body straight below it. So I'm going to go back to Google Tag Manager. I'm going to copy this and go back to WordPress and then paste it in here. And that's done. Yeah, now I just save my changes. I am certain that this is a false positive, so allow list this action. And how do I move forward? It says you can refresh the page to try this action again. Let's try and refresh. Oh, that's problematic. It did not change that. So let me do that quickly again. Let's hit save. Great. Now it's there. So I'm going to go back to Google Tag Manager, and I am just going to check and see if it is connected to my website by hitting the button preview and putting in the URL. There we go. Okay, and as we can see right now, it is connected. Yeah. So I just hit continue, and then I have this. Now, something that you don't see in this video is that my website actually popped open. Yeah, it popped up and open in a different tab. So that's why you don't see this. But anything that happens in the website, you will see on the left side. Yeah, these are all the back end things that are happening on the website, and thus you can see this. And every time I would click on a button, for example, a new action would come. So now you can see link click, etc., etc. Consent update, yeah. I'm going to go back to that link click, and I'm going to analyze that for a second in variables. So I click on link click because that's the action that I, for example, want to track. And then in variables here, I can see what is happening on the back end. So if I would want to really track this, I would need to make sure that some of these variables here are used in the tag itself. Yeah, for example, it's an event, okay, GTM link click, but this could be any link click, so it's not very specific. The page host name is also not very specific. Page path neither. Page URL neither. Yeah, so everything is very general here, and I don't have anything specific. So for us to fix this, I need to go back to Tag Manager and go to variables. And then I need to configure this and make sure that I have a lot more information when it comes to the variables. For example, which click element did I click? What was the class? What was the ID? What was the target? What was the URL attached to it? What was the text attached to it? Now, so this will make sure that I can define what link click it really was instead of doing just a general link click. So that's in variables. And then once I have all of this clicked on, then I will start seeing that information when we are analyzing our website. So I'm also going to do all of these because these are just very useful to have. Forms and clicks and scrolling as well. I think those are super important. And there we go. They're already here, so they're saved automatically. And we're going to go back to tags. And here in tags is where we are going to install an actual click. Now, for me to do that, I first want to know what is the specific of that one link that I can use to actually make a tag. So if I go back here, my website is still connected. I'm going to see if I have to refresh this or not. Okay, so I clicked on something, outbound click, there we go. Yeah, I do have to refresh it. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here. And I'm going to preview now again. Okay, so we are connected again. Thank you. And then from here, I am going to, remember, I have a pop-up of my website. So I'm just going to click on a random link again. Then we see this popping up on the left side. I need to scroll down to the initial action, which is this link click. Go to variables and then see how much extra information we have right now. So now I have something that I can work with. For example, the click text was about the author. This is super useful because really that's what the button was. So I am going to copy this and I am going to remember that that was click text. From here, I'm going back to Tag Manager. So now I am back in the normal front end of Tag Manager. On the left side, I am clicking on tags to make sure that I am here. I'm going to do new link click. This is link click of the author. And I am just going to hit that. For example, where do I want to track this? I can do any of these. Usually it's like Metapixel or something like that. In this case, I'm just going to choose Google Analytics, even though that right now we have not connected Google Analytics. I just want to show you the basic of how Tag Manager works and what you need to do to be able to actually track something. So as we are here, I am going to click on Google Analytics 4. This should be filled in. Right now I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to give it an event name. So this event name is author click. And then the trigger, which is the important part and is what we saw right now, is going to be a customized trigger. So we are going to click on the plus here. We are going to give it a name. Again, that was author click. So a trigger is not the same like a tag. I'll explain it again in a second. And then from here, we don't have all click elements, but we do have a click element that we want to track, and it's going to be a specific one, so only some clicks, and then we're going to click the variable click text, and we're going to paste the text that appeared. And now I am 100% sure that it is going to track that specific button because I got the information out of the variables I know that it's specific to only that button, and I am linking it here. So I'm going to click save right now, and then save again. Oh, I need a measurement idea. Okay. Let me just put something fake right now. Let's see if that works. Yeah, okay, so at least I have it saved, right? To go back to tags and triggers. So a tag is the location where you want that information to go. You are tagging a trigger. Yeah, you are tagging an action or a trigger to a platform, which is the tag. Yeah, in this case, specifically this case, we are tracking this action or this trigger, which is the author click, and we're sending that information to GA4. And then it's going to appear under the event name author click. Okay, so now we are going to test this one more time. I am going to preview this again. I'm going to go to my website again, have it connected again. So I see my website, right? You don't, because it's in a different tab. First, let's continue here. It's connected, great. And now I'm going to click again on that same button. And what happens now is that when I come here, I see that this tag has fired correctly. Yeah, so it's correctly tracked. I now correctly tracked the link click to the author page on the website, and this is going to be communicated to GA4, and that will be represented in Google Analytics 4. This is rather complex, and I try to explain it to you as thorough as possible. I do really recommend for you to have a website and to set up Tag Manager and just click through it yourself, because that's the way that you'll learn the best and understand everything. And then you can go through this video again, pause it wherever you need to pause it so you can do the action yourself, and then continue with a tracking, and continue also with the next videos where we are going to link Google Analytics 4, and we are going to link Google Ads, and we are going to link Meta Ads. So we're going to do all of that. In case you are in the position of just starting out your business, or you really want to expand with ads and don't really want to do it through an agency, then my community, Synchrologic, is the right place for you. As I said, the first tier subscription already has 8 courses that not only work marketing and the essentials on how to install the basics, but also self-development and how you can become a better entrepreneur, a better you, and build a business that is aligned with your soul. So I hope to see you inside. Thank you for listening to this course, and have a great